and gentlemen, C5.
You think it's slick, huh? Showing up to courts dressed like a dumbass, acting like you can't hoop.
You assumed I couldn't hoop because I'm white, which is incredibly outdated.
No, I assumed you couldn't hoop because you were dressed like a white girl at Whole Foods.
Where the love go?
Well, first off, I want to congratulate you both on this film. I did get a chance to see it. It was so amazing to me. I loved it. I can't wait to see it again.
Thank you.
The first question that I have for you both is, with this film being a modern retelling of a classic film, was there any added pressures when you were stepping into these roles? And if so, how did you all deal with it?
I think we all came to the conclusion that we were going to leave the very big shoes in a glass case and leave it beautiful and, you know, understanding that it's not broke, so we shouldn't be trying to fix it. Mm-hmm. So not taking those big shoes out the case to fill them, you know. I think what we did was customize our own pair of shoes and made it our own, and we sampled a classic, you know, like we then added our own melodies and our own tones and instruments and different things like that. So we call it a remix, you know. We remixed and sampled a classic record, and we created our very own beautiful record. It was a love letter to the original classic.
Honestly, I think the same. We definitely understood the responsibility, and I think when everyone is asking like the pressure, it's like, no, we understood the responsibility, and we felt honored to be able to step into those shoes of all these different characters, to let the people who paved the way for us know how much we appreciated them, and how much of, you know, we wanted to make sure we honored them, and we make sure that we moved the narrative forward for today's generation as well, but inspired by yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I think we never lost sight of the fact of what we were creating, what we were doing, and to know that, hey, we appreciate y'all for giving us this platform, for paving so many ways
exactly.
as actors, and also in that era, actors of color, to create spaces for us to win and to grow. So we took that responsibility and like we remixed it in a way that we feel like does them justice and updates it today out of everything out of love.
And it's not touching a classic. I know that's what everybody was afraid of. I think that's what we all was afraid of until we actually like really read the script and really spoke about it, you know? So, yeah.
Most definitely. The second question I have is, I love you guys' dynamic, you guys' characters' dynamic. I love the relationship, especially the scene at the hospital when they realized they need the money. And then Teyana, your character came up, I just knew you was gonna say something like, well, I'm out, but you was like, no.
I got 5 bands, what's good? Don't show them you that nigga, what's going on?
Let's go.
What was some of the things that you all did to kind of build that relationship between each other? And did you guys have any inspiration that you looked to for your individual character?
Absolutely. I feel like there was a lot of Teyana and Imani and vice versa. You know, my husband played in the league. So, you know, I've been there for the ups and downs, the nitty gritty of that sport. You get what I'm saying? So to be there when it's down and to also be there when it's up and knowing that balance and being a support system and vice versa, because it's like, granted, you know, Iman and I was in 2 different sports, but I was in a sport of music and he was in a sport of basketball, and I've had my fair share of ups and downs, and I think that we were able to be there for one another. So tapping into Imani for me was easy, and Sinqua has been playing ball since he was 6 years old. Played college ball. People don't even know that, you know, piece of information that
drop it
really,
off.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Drop it off. So I think that we both came to set with a goal.
Yeah.
And a responsibility, like he said earlier, and most importantly, being teammates.
Correct.
You know, because to be a teammate in life is the most important sport. You know, it's the biggest sport. And that was the most important thing, and just being there for one another and having that compassion, that empathy, and whatever. So,
like she said, like for us, it was really to make sure that we had each other. I think we like walked in from day one saying, I got you, you got me, boom. And that's why I think when people watch the movie, they do fall so much in love with Kamal and Kamani and that Kamani and that relationship, because we care about each other, right? We care about each other as human beings. We cared about each other as castmates, but there was just a lot of love and support there, and that's rare. I think, you know, we've both been able to work in so many different spaces where we don't always get that.
Yeah, because, you know, every man is for themselves. When you walk onto a lot of things in life, any type of workplace, it doesn't matter, you know? So it's like to be around a cast, especially a partner, that's really like, it's selfless. You know, it's like, yo, I got your back. Like, even when we not on screen, it's like, yo, I'm here, so
I'm
it
here.
feels the same.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Because some people don't do that, you know? So it's just showing up for one another, I think is important. And I think that, you know, being teammates in life also helps, you know, us be able to give our most natural self within these characters, you know, being a family, like, I think is really important. I think that the whole village, not even just the cast, like crafty, art, wardrobe, like, you know, the directors, producers, you know, executives, like, you know, we were all a family.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like one big cookout every
really
time
was.
we filmed.
It really was a cookout every time. And it's
Yeah.
also, you had asked something really key, which is like, you know, the idea of like, people not thinking that Imani was gonna give up the money, but I think what we show, and she said something really key in previous interviews, is like, what does relationship look like? And we live in like a very me first toxic environment right now, and we're trying to update that, right? That's why
Exactly.
like love is so important in the story, mental health is so important in the story, and if anything, it's like, hey, this is the kind of relationship that you want.
Yes,
This is the kind of
exactly.
partner that you want to be, and it's like, yo, I got you,
Exactly.
right? And like, I'm gonna hold you down, and like, I'm gonna ride for you, and that's literally instantly what you should do
and
for your
holding each
partner.
other accountable and knowing how to also create healthy dialogue and
Yes.
healthy debates, you know,
Yes.
without burning down Rome. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just like, we done took things too far and now we want to work it out. And it's just like, well, if it didn't take a day, if Rome wasn't built in a day, imagine having to, you know, clear it out to rebuild.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now it's triple as long as it was
Right.
the initial time that Rome was built. So it's like, how do we avoid getting there? How do we nip it in the bud before it even gets there and hold each other accountable and just be there for one another?
We don't burn
in a
down
healthy
Rome
way?
over here.
Yeah.